is Canada better than the US? Hi guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel, A Time with Dr. P. If you're an OG here, welcome back. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss out on any video I'm going to be posting on this channel. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of the most asked questions on my comment section, which is Canada better than the US? Sit back, relax, and enjoy. So just a brief background, my family and I have lived in the US for over 5 years, and then we immigrated to Canada, and we've lived in Canada for a couple of months now. So what I'm sharing is my personal experience having lived in both countries. It's left for you to take an informed decision because we all immigrate for different reasons. So I've noted a few points down, and number one on the list is, drum roll, I'm sure your guess is as good as mine, the weather. I cannot overemphasize the weather in Canada. You know, I thought because I had lived in the US for 5 years and when I get to Canada, it can't be that bad. But man, when we got off the airport that day, I opened the door, stepped out the door, and it was cold. I can't explain it. It was extremely cold. I looked at my husband, I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. I thought we're coming from the US. So if you're looking to immigrate to Canada, let that be top on your list. It is really, really cold here. So compared to the US, we stayed in Maryland. We lived in Maryland all through our stay in America. And we never got anything close to the weather we see on a daily basis in Canada. So America, Canada, cold, not so cold, the choice is yours. So just to add a few data to what I said, the temperature on the day we arrived in Canada was minus 16 degrees Celsius. The coldest we ever had in Maryland was minus 10. And so we had never seen anything like that. Up until I'm speaking, we have seen days where we had minus 38. It is crazy, but the good thing is with the right clothing and over time, I would say you get used to it. You never get used to it, but you gradually adjust and you live with it. With the right clothing, right outfits, your head warmer, your gloves, your boots, the clothing are pretty expensive, but you get used to it and it gets better. I can assure you it gets better. So for the weather, I'm definitely giving it to the US. That's a tick for US. Tick. So number 2 on my list is taxes. I wrote a quick definition of what tax is. It says it's a compulsory contribution to state revenue levied by the government. So we live presently in Canada in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And the tax here is 11%. 11%. You heard me. It was amazing to me. So let me tell you how I got a shocker. On this particular day, I think that was like 3 days after we got to Canada, we went grocery shopping. And so I have the habit of always checking my receipt after payment. And so I looked on the receipt and I saw we spent $100 and we were charged $111. It was a shock to me. And so I walked back to the lady who attended to us. I said, I think there's a mistake. We spent $100, but we're charged $111. She smiled at me and said, it's not a mistake. There's a PST charge and there's a GST charge. One of them is 5% and the other is 6%. That's 11%. We're coming from Maryland. Our taxes in Maryland was 6%. A whole 5% difference. That was amazing to me. But if you're looking to immigrate to Canada, depending on where you decide to go to, that's one of what you have to deal with, taxes. And so again, I'm giving this to US. US definitely wins this one for taxes. 6%, 11%, the US wins this one. So that's 2 points to the US and 0 for Canada. So number 3 on my list is Canada Child Benefits. I noted a definition here. It says Canada Child Benefit is a non-taxable amount paid monthly to help eligible families with cost of raising their children. Self-explanatory. It means that the government give eligible families monthly support to raise their families up until the age of 18. So what that means is if you have any child under the age of 18 who is eligible, they will get a monthly support from the government ranging from $300 and something to $500 and something, all depending on the gross income of the family. That is awesome. I lived in the US for over 5 years. I did not see anything like American child benefits. So I'm definitely giving this to Canada. Canada child benefits, tick for Canada. So if you have 2 kids, 3 kids, it doesn't matter. Each of those children get a monthly amount from the government, depending on the gross income of the family. This is definitely awesome. So that's 2 points for the US and 1 point for Canada. So number 4 on my list is immigration. Canada is very welcoming to immigrants. There are so many pathways for you to work your way to become a legal resident in Canada. On a regular basis, different pathways come for people in Canada or who are trying to immigrate from outside the country to find their way into Canada and live legally. The support that immigrants generally get from Canada, it's superb, like it's top to none. Compared to the US, on the other hand, if you are not born in the US, there's really no pathway for you to become a legal resident in the US. So I'm definitely giving this one to Canada. For immigration, Canada, tick. So I did some research and realized that immigration is actually very vital to Canada's economy. As a matter of fact, Canada actually encourages people from all over the world to come into Canada, and they would follow a pathway and become legal residents. That's amazing. So I've looked at my list and it looks like we have a tie. 2 points for Canada and 2 points for US. But remember when I started this video, I said we all immigrate for different reasons. So really, the choice is yours at the end of the day. I'll be coming your way with more comparison between the 2 countries in my subsequent videos. Make sure you share, like, leave your comments. You never know who this video will be beneficial to. Until I come your way next time, this is Dr. P signing out. Bye-bye.